Hi guys, this is my review for Downton Abbey Series 5 Episode 1. So the new series premiere. It's safe to say that if you live in America where it hasn't aired yet or you just haven't got around to watching it, stop watching now because this will be full of spoilers. I was so excited for the new series to come back. I hadn't quite realised it until it got to Sunday and the excitement was building all day. Overall, I really enjoyed the episode. Obviously, as the first episode, it's just building up the plot and the storylines for the rest of the series. So the first key major one that it starts off with is obviously Edith is going to become a dirty baby snatcher. Like, it wasn't already enough that she'd stolen her baby off the Swiss people she'd given it to in the first place. It's clear she wants her baby back, but who can blame her? But yeah, that's obviously going to be a big plot line this year of, will Edith ever tell anyone she has a baby and it has an awful name? I mean, who calls their child Marigold? Robert's storyline for this series, as with all series, seems to be building up towards, oh, I don't like change, oh, everything's changing without me. He is so whiny. Like, seriously, I can't deal with him anymore. I really wish Julian Fellowes would just come up with a new storyline for him, because every series it's something changes and Robert doesn't like it. He can't deal with the way that the world's changing without him. So the thought of that just annoyed me, and I will not be looking forward to that this series. The scene at the start of the episode where they're all sat in the library and Robert's complaining that Sibby keeps calling him Donk is just the most, oh, it was so adorable. The kid that plays Sibby Branson just delivered the Donk line with just the greatest comic timing ever known to a small child. She's brilliant, and I want more children scenes, please. Cora was so great this episode. Elizabeth McGovern and Cora is just a strange thing with me, because I just find the woman ridiculous. Like, everything about her just being, like, her accent's ridiculous, her mannerisms are ridiculous, her complete lack of control over her facial expression is ridiculous. As someone who has that problem myself, I feel for her, but at the same time, how can you be an actress that has no control over your own face? And yet I just can't help loving her. I really can't. She's one of my favourite characters, even though she's just ridiculous. I think I just love the way she nags at Robert, and she has these great moments of brilliance where she just, the bit with Thomas that we'll get to in a minute, where she just turns around to him and is like, yep, and what? Yeah, okay, it's your fault. So great. Yeah, so the Thomas, Baxter, Mosley three-way that seems to be going on for this series, it's gonna be good. Mosley is just comic relief. At this point, he came on screen, as soon as he came on starting to dye his hair, I was like, right, here comes the clown. Why is it always poor Mosley? The line with Lord Grantham turning around to him and saying, are you Latin, was just hilarious. In fact, okay, although Robert was the most annoying character that episode, he came up with some of the two greatest lines in the whole show, which is, do you have a bit of Latin in you? And another line which we will get to in a moment. But Mosley dyeing his hair to try and impress Baxter was just ridiculous. It was just stupid. But I did enjoy the way he was sticking up for her and gave her the good advice whenever Thomas, she's had enough, poor old Baxter, she's just had enough of Thomas. Thomas seems to be really mean this episode. More than, like, I know he's evil and scheming normally, but this seemed like next level of evil. He was just so mean to her. So I was really glad that, like, Mosley stepped in and tried to save the day. So yeah, I was glad to see that Baxter took Mosley's advice and told Cora what had happened. I love how nobody actually seemed that bothered that she'd robbed a house, but you know. And then when Thomas, of course, went all smarmy up to Cora and was like, oh, I have to tell you something, my lady. Cora's just beating him down, was just brilliant. Another plot arc for this series is obviously going to be Tom, and who I can now only think of as the homely liberal. If you guys don't listen to Up Yours Downstairs podcast, you are missing out on a treat, because those guys are just hilarious. But yeah, they refer to Braithwaite as the homely liberal. I was just editing this and I've realised I've called Sarah Bunting Braithwaite every single time. So when I say Braithwaite, I mean Sarah Bunting. Okay, thanks, bye. I found her really jarring last series, but at the same time kind of wanted her and Tom to get together. And as well, did she used to have blonde hair? Or did I just imagine that? I don't know, but she got hot all of a sudden. Like, she did not look like that before, I swear. They're obviously going down the path with trying to get those two together, so we'll see where it all goes. I'm now not that sure if I want them to get together, but we'll see what Julian Fellows has in store for us, where he's going to lead it. The action downstairs seemed to be more exciting this episode. Mrs. Patmore has finally turned around to Daisy and said everything we've all been thinking for a long time. Daisy, you own a farm. Why do you not just work there? And bless her, she's really trying with her maths. Obviously, Braithwaite's going to choose to her. We all know it's coming. I just want to see Daisy do well, really. She's put up with so much. She's put up with Mrs. Patmore getting on her all the time. But I love their relationship, the two of them. It's just, they're hilarious. And finally, downstairs, the great Anna Chancellor. I love Anna Chancellor. She's like a magnificent actress. I was so excited she's in the show. I thought she was going to be in a couple of episodes, but it seems like she's only going to be in this one. I'm not really sure where that's going to go. I was hoping she was in a few episodes. But she was so great as Lady Anstruther. Is that her name? Who knows? She was so great and so crazy. If I was Jimmy, I would... No, I wouldn't run a mile, actually. I love how Jimmy was trying to like bat her off, and then in the end she turned up and he was like, yeah, okay, I will. So then the final exciting climax of the show, Edith, being Edith, wallowing in her life of just one terrible incident after another, accidentally sets fire to her own bedroom. It could only happen to Edith, seriously. I love the line as well after the fire's been put out when Mary was like, Edith's decided to set fire to her own room. It was just so Mary. I'm glad Mary's back to her sassy old self. So the house is on fire and Lord Grantham run around the rooms trying to get everyone out of the house. And this was his brilliant line of the show when he runs in, catches Jimmy and Anna Chancellor's character at it and just turns around and goes, the house is on fire, and then walks out. It was brilliant. So overall, a great start to the new series. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with Mr. Bricker, who arrives next episode. I really like Robert and Cora as a partnership, but at the same time, kind of want Cora to run away with Mr. Bricker. Looking forward to see where the Mosley-Baxter relationship ends up going. I want to see Daisy becoming brilliant and running the farm, and I want to see less of Robert whinging about how the times are changing and how he's being left behind, because no, Robert, shut up. Oh, and more ISIS, always more ISIS.